this character, I mean, you've done a lot of work with television, a lot of work in film, but I imagine it must, in a sense, this film must be so easy because you've got this character who just steps off the screen and into the story. So.
Right, he's an amazing character. We didn't lack in the soundbite department or in the story department. But conversely, he talks so much, and we had so much content and so many stories, 40 plus hours of interviews with one man.
Wow.
You know, that doesn't even include the secondary interviews. So I beg to differ, it wasn't easy to put together. It was a challenge. But I'm happy to hear that you think it looked easy, so that means we did our job and did it well.
Absolutely.
As we were making it, we you know, what we would do is I'd get up at 5:30 in the morning and I'd write, and my editor partner, Rick, the editor and co-producer on the film, would come in at about 9:30, 10, and we'd start editing. And as we were making it, and every night we'd finish at about 10:30, 11, we'd make some martinis, and we'd watch like the chunk that we did that day. That was a 6-month process.
Right.
And as we were making it, we were like, this is such an epic story. Not saying the film was good or bad, but this is such an epic story because Tomi has lived in epic, you know, times. You know, it started with Nazi occupation. It went into McCarthyism in the late 50s, which we don't delve too much into in the film. And then the 60s and the civil rights movement and the war. You know, all of these like major 20th century events, he not only was there for, but recorded with his pen. So it really turned into, yeah, more than a biography. It really turned into this kind of case study of someone who'd seen these epic events. I think it's following, you know, your heart, no matter where it leads you. Yeah. And because if you don't, you're not going to be, you know, fully, you know, satisfied artistically or emotionally. But also not going over the edge. You know, he did a lot of things in his past that actually put him over the edge. Made a lot of enemies. We only kind of touch on them in the film. We don't delve into specifics sometimes, mostly because a lot of his critics are dead. But yeah, it's, you know, following your heart and not having fear to follow it, and that's a major lesson in the film. But also remembering where you come from, and you know, like we were talking earlier about your past. Yeah. You know, it's like you want to explore it. It's important to know where you come from, because it, you know, informs who you are today and where you're going. So.
And you really don't know that you come from there until you see it. You're able to see it.
That's right. You feel it, you taste it, and he did that.
Yeah.
And he wrote about it, and that's what the film is all about.